Hey everybody, how are you doing today? I'm Heather, I'm with Luminous, and yeah, we're doing our live chats. We do these every day, Monday through Friday, all the even hours at 8, 10, 12, 2, and 4. So we are here for you a lot. And it's usually between me and Renee. I'm going to actually put this little ticker on the bottom. There we go. Renee has downloaded some amazing slides for us, so it makes it a little more entertaining. But yeah, we go over the starter kit, how to airbrush, and all of that. So now I am able to put some makeup on. Hey Nancy, how are you? So let's get started. We're going to go over the starter kit, what you receive, all of that fun stuff. And so you do receive, this is what you receive in your kit. And that is the stylus, the compressor, the blush, 2 bottles of foundation, and then the love. And we're going to go over that so you can see exactly how to use it, what to do with it, and all that. When you first get the system, I want you to get it out of the box. And so I know that sounds like, okay. But yeah, that is the big thing, is I want you to get it out of the box, and it already comes put together. The only thing you have to do is plug in the power cord. And then right here, I want you to put water. That's it. Just put water and then put the cap on right there. Putting the cap on when you first start is just easier to do. You don't have to worry about it coming out or anything. And plus, we're going to fill that up, which is, you'll never do that with the makeup because we're using 10 times less makeup. And so you're going to be using drops. But as we're practicing and you're putting water in here, I want you to put that all over your face, and we're going to spray and have some fun with it, and then go from there. So when you're practicing, you'll turn it on, and there is air that comes out. So what's great about this, there's no, if I had water in here, there's no product being let out until I pull back on this trigger. So when I go in and I have the air on right now, wherever I feel the air is where the product's going to go. So when you are airbrushing, you want to keep it about 4 finger widths away from your face. You want to keep moving around the face, obviously, because you want it to spread evenly. And then you're barely going to pull back on the trigger. Now, practicing with water gives you a great opportunity to get it down before using the makeup. And so if you can do all those things and not have water dripping down your face, then you are set and can move to the foundations. Now I'm going to be using the Silk 4-in-1 foundation, but we do have different foundations. Now the Silk 4-in-1 has anti-aging properties in it. It has your moisturizer primer, it has your concealer, and it has your foundation. And so it is the more forgiving foundation. And then we also have Ultra. Ultra is great for combination skin. Let me back up by saying Silk, you can have light to full coverage. So light and everything in between to full coverage. And then Ultra, same thing, can give you light to full coverage. It's great for combination skin, great for acne prone skin. And then we also have matte. So if you're oily, or I like to say if you glisten a lot, if you have to use a powder throughout the day, or if you just like to look matte, then matte foundation is going to be perfect for you. Now this is a medium to full coverage. And the next we have Mystic. And Mystic is also medium to full coverage. It's our highest pigmented foundation. So for those of you who think they need that coverage or like that coverage, then Mystic's going to be perfect for you. Now remember, to get the coverage, you do passes. So that meaning I go around, my face. That's how I get my coverage. But with Mystic, you might find, and I'm going to start putting my Silk in here, you might find that you need less makeup, because it is a higher pigmented foundation. I hope that makes sense. So I'm going to go straight into airbrushing my foundation. Again, I can get full coverage. I think I put too many drops because I wasn't counting, but we'll see. So I'm going to go in and start making my passes. I'm lightly pulling back on my trigger. Whoops, hold on. Okay. Lightly pulling back. Going around and around. Making the passes. Hold on one second. I think I want to make sure these are all on. There we go. Sometimes if it doesn't want to spray in the back here, these, I'm going to show you real quick. These can get loose from the vibrations of the machine. So you want to make sure that they are secure. All right. So now I'm going to go in and start spraying. I can spray under my eyes. Lightly pulling back on the trigger. Go on my forehead. I can just move my hair out of the way. Down my nose. And guys, my moves, the best way I can describe this, my moves are very deliberate. When I was first talking to my dad about airbrushing, and he was like, do you just line them up against the wall and just paint them? I'm like, we're not painting a fence. So it's very precise. Just like if you were going in and buffing this on, you're going around your face. And that's exactly what you're doing. But you're spraying so light on the trigger that you can barely see it going on. I want you to think of it kind of as magic, because that's how it should look. You should be looking at me going, yeah, she needs some makeup. And then all of a sudden I look flawless. And so that is exactly how I want y'all to think about that. All right. So let me get my Kleenex out. So I did put too much makeup in there. So I'm doing what is called the blowout, meaning I'm taking a tissue and I'm blowing the rest of that makeup out. Now you could use it. I wasn't looking at how many drops I was putting in. So you could use it if there was a little bit left, or you could also mix it in, especially with our blush. Our blush is super high pigmented, so it does intensify, and we always say it blooms. And so, with the blush, you can mix a drop of the foundation, you can mix a drop of love. There's a lot you can do. So Nancy, you use number 4. So if I use number 4 in silk, would I use? So Nancy, chances are, yes, you would. And I know silk has a few more options and it's more neutral, but chances are, yes, you would stick to those same colors. When I go to Mystic and to silk and to matte and to ultra, I stick with my 3. You might have to lighten it just a little bit. So if you have glow, you can lighten it a little bit. So it's not going to be too far off, but because of the fact it is more pigment in there, it might get a little deeper. And so if you have glow or love or something like that, then you can definitely mix that in, just a drop. And now I'm going to put 2 drops. Whoa, that might have been 3. It's hard holding it all up here and trying to see, but you can mix a drop and just to lighten it just a little bit. I want to show you now our blush colors. I'm so excited about these. So we have Soft Rose and Tulip and Naked. Is it Naked? Natural. It's supposed to be natural. I think she put Naked. I'm like, I don't have my contacts on, but I think that says naked, but it's natural. And then there's apricot and then plum. Now, the blush will change depending on whatever kit you order. So the lighter kits, like the fair and the medium, are going to have those lighter colors like tulip and soft rose. And then the darker ones will have the apricot and plum. However, anyone can use any of the blushes. And I'm actually using the plum. And the plum's one of my favorites. So just like the passes that you make to get the coverage, same thing goes with the blush. I'm not going to do as many passes as maybe a darker skin tone because it will show up quicker on me than it would a darker skin tone. Does that make sense? So I'm going to point it right at my cheek, start my movement, and then lightly pull back on my trigger. So if I wanted light blush, then I just do a little bit. If I wanted heavier blush, which Renee loves her blush, then I would do that as well. I would just make more passes. And I want to show you this too. I'm putting this on my lips. You can even put this on your lips to give you a little hint of color as well. It is honestly limitless on what you can do with our products. So now I'm going to go back and I'm going to use Love. And Love is a hydrating illuminator. I didn't say illuminizer. I didn't say shimmer. I didn't say optics highlight and strobe. I said illuminator. And it's going to give you a little, did I shake this up? Yeah. A little bit of a shine. I'll do 3 drops because that's what I'll probably end up putting in anyway. So it does give you a little bit of a shine. Does she have one for? That's tip top. There we go. That is Love. So it does give it a little illuminator, meaning a little like lit from within. Nothing that's going to be like, oh, that girl got some shimmer on. Nothing like that, okay? So I'm going to use that right at my high cheekbone area and down my nose. And just give me a little bit of shine. When you're starting to play, that was 3 drops, that was perfect. When you're starting to play with Love, don't overdo it. Make sure you do have good lights. Make sure when you're putting on your makeup, make sure you have good lighting that you can see what you're doing so you don't overdo it. I know when I know y'all know what I'm talking about, but when you were doing traditional makeup and you're like and maybe you didn't have the best lighting, and then you go outside and you pull down that car, the car mirror, and you're like, oh, what was I thinking? What was that? We need good lights to put on makeup. And so make sure you do have good lighting because it will reflect that little bit of illumination and show you that it's not a lot. It's very subtle. So anyone can use this. You can use it here on the high cheekbone area, down the nose, even as eyeshadow. It's beautiful. Mix it in with your blush to change the look of the blush. Change the look of the foundation. It's stunning. Stunning. So there you go. All right, guys, I'm going to be back here at 4 o'clock. We're going to finish the look. So we'll talk a little bit about the airbrush and what you received, and then I'll put some eyes on. So I look alive. All right. All right, guys, I'll see you soon. Bye for now.